Right now, your heart is beating. Your lungs are pulling in air. Your brain is firing millions of signals every second. Your cells are working, dividing, repairing, living. But one day, not today, hopefully, all of that stops. One final heartbeat, one last breath, and then silence. But here is what nobody tells you. Death is not an off switch. What happens to your body in the minutes, hours, and days after you die is one of the most dramatic, surprising, and strangely beautiful processes in all of nature. And most people have absolutely no idea. Today, we are going through it, minute by minute, step by step, all the way to the end. This is what happens to your body after you die. The heart stops. In that exact moment, blood stops moving through your body. And blood is everything. It carries oxygen to every single cell, every organ, every tissue keeping you alive. Without oxygen, your brain has exactly 4 to 6 minutes before it begins to die. But here is what happens in that very first minute. Your brain does not go quietly. In the seconds immediately after the heart stops, researchers have recorded massive surges of electrical activity in the brain, far more intense than anything seen during normal waking life. In one study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, patients showed gamma wave activity, the highest level of conscious brain activity, spiking dramatically in the 30 seconds after their hearts stopped. Nobody fully understands why. Some scientists believe it is the brain using its last reserves of oxygen in one final burst of activity. Others believe it may explain near-death experiences, the tunnels of light, the life reviews, the feeling of peace that some survivors describe. Your brain's last act might be the most vivid experience of your entire life. Then the activity fades, the signals slow, the lights go out one by one, and the body begins its next chapter. Within minutes of death, the body begins losing heat. The average living human body sits at around 37 degrees Celsius. The moment the heart stops producing heat through blood circulation, the body begins cooling toward the temperature of the room around it. It drops at a remarkably consistent rate, approximately 1 to 1.5 degrees Celsius per hour under normal conditions. Forensic scientists use this process, called rigor mortis or the cooling of death, to estimate the time of death. It is one of the most reliable clocks the body leaves behind. But temperature is not the only thing changing. Within minutes, blood stops being pumped and begins to obey gravity instead. It sinks to the lowest parts of the body, pooling under the skin, creating dark purple patches on whatever side of the body is closest to the ground. This is called rigor mortis, the lividity of death. The skin above those areas goes pale, almost translucent. The color we associate with death, that gray, drained appearance, is simply blood following gravity downward, leaving the surface behind. And then something strange happens to the muscles. In life, muscles require a constant supply of calcium and ATP, the body's energy molecule, to stay both contracted and relaxed. The moment that energy supply stops, something unexpected happens. The muscles do not go limp, they lock. 2 to 6 hours after death, one of the most dramatic physical changes begins: rigor mortis, the stiffening of death. Here is the science behind it. In living muscle tissue, calcium flows in and out of cells constantly, allowing muscles to contract and release. When death cuts off the energy supply, calcium floods into the muscle cells uncontrolled and cannot get back out. The muscles lock into a permanent contraction. It starts in the small muscles, the eyelids, the jaw, the fingers. Then it spreads progressively through the body over the next several hours, down through the neck, the chest, the arms, the abdomen, and finally the legs. By 12 hours after death, the entire body is rigid, completely stiff, so stiff that moving a limb requires significant force. Then, it's between 24 and 48 hours after death, the process reverses. The muscle proteins themselves begin to break down. The stiffness fades. The body becomes soft again. This timeline is so consistent and so well understood that forensic pathologists can estimate time of death with remarkable precision simply by assessing the stage of rigor mortis. Your body, even in death, is running on a precise biological clock. But while all of this is happening on the outside, something extraordinary is happening on the inside. Here is the fact that most people find most disturbing and most fascinating. You are never more alive with other life than you are in death. Your gut contains approximately 38 trillion bacteria. In life, your immune system keeps them contained. They stay in the digestive system, doing their job, going no further. Your immune system is the border guard that keeps them in their place. The moment your immune system shuts down, the bacteria are free. Within hours of death, gut bacteria begin breaking through the intestinal walls and spreading through the body via the same blood vessels that once carried oxygen. They move through your liver, your spleen, your heart. They begin consuming you from the inside. This process is called putrefaction, and it is the main engine of decomposition. As the bacteria spread and multiply, they produce gases as a byproduct: hydrogen sulfide, methane, ammonia. These gases accumulate inside the body, creating pressure that causes the body to bloat and eventually, in cases of delayed discovery, rupture. It sounds horrifying, but here is the perspective shift that changes everything. Those bacteria and the thousands of insects and organisms that follow them are not destroying you. They are returning you. Every atom of carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and calcium in your body is being broken down and released back into the soil, the water, the air. The plants that grow in that soil absorb those atoms. Animals eat those plants. Other humans eat those animals. The atoms that make up your body right now have been part of countless other living things before you, and after you, they will be part of countless more. You are not disappearing, you are transforming. Within 24 to 72 hours, the body enters active decay. The gases produced by bacteria cause visible bloating. The skin changes color dramatically, from the pale gray of early death to greens, purples, and eventually black as decomposition advances. The smell that develops is one of the most powerful in nature, a complex mixture of over 400 chemical compounds that insects can detect from miles away. And the insects arrive. Blowflies are typically the first, arriving within minutes of death in outdoor environments, laying eggs in the soft tissues around the eyes and mouth. Within 24 hours, larvae hatch and begin consuming the soft tissue. This sounds gruesome, but it is one of nature's most efficient recycling systems. Each species of insect arrives in a predictable sequence, a phenomenon so reliable that forensic entomologists can estimate time of death to within hours simply by identifying which insects are present and at what stage of their life cycle. Your body, in death, becomes an entire ecosystem, a habitat, a source of life for hundreds of species. Within weeks in warm conditions, months in cold, the soft tissue is gone. What remains is the skeleton, calcium phosphate, the hardest substance your body produces. Bones can persist for thousands of years under the right conditions. The oldest human bones ever found are over 300,000 years old. Some part of you could outlast everything you ever built, everything you ever wrote, everything you ever said. Now let's talk about the things that surprise people most. The parts of you that do not stop immediately. Hair and nails. You have heard the myth, hair and nails keep growing after death. This is actually false, but the reason it looks true is fascinating. In the hours after death, the skin dehydrates and pulls back from the hair follicles and nail beds, making both appear longer. They are not growing. The skin is shrinking, the illusion of life. Skin cells. Individual skin cells can remain alive and metabolically active for several days after the heart stops. A 2016 study found that some human genes actually become more active after death, not less. Genes associated with the immune system, stress response, and remarkably, fetal development showed increased activity in the hours and days after death, as if the body is attempting one last time to heal itself. The microbiome. The bacteria in your gut do not just survive death, they thrive. Researchers studying the gut microbiome after death found that the bacterial community actually becomes more diverse in the days following death as new species colonize the body. Life, finding a way, consciousness. This is the one scientists still cannot fully answer. We know brain activity continues for at least 30 seconds after the heart stops. Some studies suggest measurable activity for up to 10 minutes. Whether any form of experience, any awareness, exists in those final minutes remains one of the deepest unsolved questions in all of neuroscience. What you experience in those last moments, nobody alive can tell you. Here's the thought that puts everything into perspective. The atoms in your body right now are ancient. The carbon in your cells was forged in the heart of a dying star billions of years ago. The iron in your blood was created in a supernova explosion before our solar system even existed. The water molecules moving through you right now have been inside other humans, other animals, other plants, other oceans for billions of years. You did not come from the earth. You are the earth, temporarily arranged into the shape of a person. And when you die, when the bacteria do their work and the molecules return to the soil and the air, you do not end. You disperse. You become part of the grass, the trees, the clouds, the rain, the ocean. You become part of every living thing that comes after you. The physicist Carlo Rovelli wrote that we are not things. We are processes, events, temporary arrangements of matter that the universe is trying out for a while. Death is not the end of you. It is the end of this particular arrangement. Everything you are made of has existed for billions of years, and it will continue to exist for billions more. You are not disappearing, you are just changing form. 1 minute after you die, your brain is firing its last signals. 1 hour after, your body is cooling, your blood is settling, your muscles are beginning to lock. 1 day after, the bacteria are spreading, the transformation has begun. 1 year after, the atoms that were you are already part of something else, something growing, something alive. Death is not a wall, it is a door, not to another world, but back to this one, back to the soil, the air, the water, the stars. And here is the thing about knowing all of this. It does not make life feel smaller. It makes every single heartbeat feel like the extraordinary, unrepeatable miracle that it actually is. Your heart is beating right now. That is not nothing. That is everything. Drop a comment below. Did this change the way you think about death? I genuinely want to know. And if this video made you feel something, share it, because this is a story worth telling.